Oh man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is? Tuesday. Brewsday, Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's time for Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack
Oh,
Store. Here is Huck and Big Nate.
I had premature opening.
It's okay. We've all been premature
But
once
you
in our
know, it's
lives.
usually younger people, though.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Uh,
That's
all right.
bad.
Fair enough. Welcome into Brewsday
Opened my
Tuesday.
can early.
Huck's ready for beer, and
It
I'm ready for
was.
beer too. I just apparently a little more patient than him.
Well, when you're thirsty, you're thirsty.
And it's Black History Month, so we're having beer from.
We're having beer from Brooklyn Brewery.
Now, why are we having beer from Brooklyn
Well, it's
Brewery?
not a black-owned brewery. Or maybe it is. I don't really know the owners. But it's the first famous black brewer, Garrett Oliver. Really good guy, really hilarious guy. Tells some great stories. I have had the honor of listening to him on two occasions, live and in person. Great guy, fun to party with. He knows beer. He makes really, really good beer. So, I was a little bit. I just did this because the local beer stores don't have a lot of black brewers. I guess if we had a Total Wine, something like that around here within range, I could have done better. But I couldn't. I asked them, and I asked a person of color that works at the beer store if they had any. He says, "No, we just have that." It's the only one that he knew of. But I went down and I found a list of black breweries, and man, I've been to a lot of them. And I didn't know. I mean, some of them I knew. I pretty much assumed the Harlem Brewery was the black brewery. I'd went there. But I mean, as I travel across the country drinking beer, which I used to do before I got sick and I intend to do again, I have hit a lot of these breweries that are black owned or black brewers. And I understand there's a couple of breweries in Virginia that have black brewers. I don't know if they're head brewer or not. And I mean, I think beer is basically colorblind anyway. But, it's the month to celebrate, achievements in every field. And I think that, this beer being my favorite field, then we'll go there.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That's why I let you say it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I've got the Bel Air Sour from Brooklyn Brewery. It's 5.8% ABV, which is what you'd expect for a sour. What do you got over there?
I've got the Brooklyn Brewery Brooklyn Pilsner. It's a crisp Pilsner. And, I got to say, I've kind of changed my beer drinking habits. Um, I lost a lot of weight. So if I know we laugh about Huck session beers, but truly 10% beer, I can only have so much of that. So I've been buying a lot more Pilsners. And I will say that in general, craft brewers have really upped their game on the Pilsners. Everybody seems to have one now, and they're all pretty darn good. I mean, I see them all the time. And the next session, what I get you? Is that the sour?
It's the Bel Air Tropical Sour. Yeah,
What do you think of that? It's another thing that most everybody's making,
I love sours. I mean, that's at least for the past few years has been my favorite style
which
for.
is why I gave you that beer.
No, I appreciate you doing
Every
it,
once in a while, I treat you well.
but I do think the Pilsners are an interesting thing to see the craft brewers get into because, I mean, they're basically going after a market that, the people who say, "No, I drink regular beer."
Correct.
They're
But
going after that market
that
now,
being
so
said,
you can't escape the
this
craft beer.
doesn't taste like a cold brewed uh pilsner. It tastes crafty. It's got a thick mouth feel. I think that's the main difference. Is whereas, the Cornita we had last week before, was, a Pilsner, style beer. And this is different. These are different. And, I had a complaint. Can't remember what they were making, but they were making a beer that's supposed to be crisp and it wasn't because they were making it crafty. But that's okay. I mean, like I say, I'm really getting into the Pilsners. I mean, and they're out there. They're everywhere.
I,
A funny story though.
let's hear it.
I don't know if it's funny. So I went to Brooklyn.
I'll laugh anyway.
I went to Brooklyn. I went to New York. I used to go take the train up New York, and I've been up there a couple times. One time was a business trip, but I was able to put some beer into it. The other time was just a beer trip. There was used to be a bar called, uh, well, you have to give me a minute. Come back to it. Ginger Man. It's since closed. In my opinion, in my experience, is the best multi-tap bar I've ever been to. I went in there and they had 5 beers that were not on Untapped. I'd never even heard of. I was able to put them on Untapped, and one of them was from Virginia. So I mean, it's amazing. So, but I went to Brooklyn, and my intent was to go to Brooklyn Brewery. So I did, right? So I go to Brooklyn Brewery, and I had some beers. I had a good time. Garrett wasn't there, but I talked to some of the other brewers, and I really did have a good time. That was at the height of my Huck's Beer Buzz career of doing beer shows and
That
stuff.
was the peak, the
It was
pinnacle.
the peak. And so then I went, I had read about this Belgian beer bar, and it was only 4 blocks away. Of course, I got lost, and it was 16 blocks away by the time I got to it. Anyway, I go in there, and guess what they were having?
What?
Like Brooklyn Beer Tap Takeover.
Oh, it's just
Oh,
left there.
you got no bow. Yeah. They still had a few Belgians, but they were famous for their Belgians. This is a multi-tap bar. But yeah, that was the biggest disappointment of my New York trip. Also, that the subway station closest to Brooklyn Brewery was closed. And if you don't know your way around New York, and I don't, I'm okay, DC, Baltimore, even Philly, but New York is just a mystery to me. I mean, they have subways named ABC 123. What?
In
Pick a thing.
in the words of John Mulaney, it's a grid system, you simple bitch.
Oh, it's terrible.
That's the one thing. Like, I'm terrible at navigating in like rural America, but like you throw me in a city, I will
Oh yeah, well back then,
navigate like
back
Columbus.
back then, once you hit the third step going down, your phone quit working. You're done. So you're on your own.
Because you're under the ground, yeah.
Yeah, now you're fine. Now I've been there back since phones now work in the subway, but back then they didn't work. And of course, New York is not a city where you say, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to
No,
get there?"
they're very
No, they'll
brash.
slap you if you even ask. But ended up in Coney Island, wasn't even going there at one point. That was on my Brooklyn trip. Is when I couldn't get in the subway I wanted to go on. I took like a Z train.
So, I mean, the next time you go up, you need to watch The Warriors
Okay.
before you go. Have you seen The Warriors?
No.
It came out in the 70s. It's like all the gangs of New York are like trying to come together and like negotiate peace, and the person in charge of it like gets assassinated. And the Warriors are a gang from Coney Island, and um, they get accused of doing it. So all these gangs are chasing them, but it's about their escape and navigating the train system and getting out
Well, I'll have to
of
check that out
where
because
they're at.
I thought Coney Island was great. Everybody thought this is it. I thought that was great.
You should see the Warriors.
I didn't even mean to go
regardless.
there.
Yeah, Coney Island's cool.
And they got the hot dogs. Nathan's famous. I think it kind of started. I don't know,
It did.
but I went up in there
And that's where
and I had like a hot dog. It was so good. I said, "Oh, I'll have another one." The guy's like, "You ought to try this one." Okay. I had like 6 hot dogs. I had to go sit at a picnic table for like an hour before I could walk again.
No, it's worth it because they're delicious.
Oh, I know.
It's hot dogs are one of those foods. Like, I don't know if you've noticed this, but like, you know how like every city has like their own pizza. Hot dogs are apparently a very versatile food.
Except,
Like, there's a Chicago hot dog.
right. That's
West
what I was
Virginia
about to
has
say,
their
Chicago.
claw dogs.
Yep.
I think
But I'm a
lately I'm
chili-
twisting like a San Francisco.
chili, mustard, onion kind of guy.
See, I go with chili, coleslaw, mustard, onion.
I will not throw the coleslaw
I'll
off.
throw some sauerkraut
The
on
best
there.
ones around here used to be the Hilltop on 460 near Pembroke, but they changed hands. And the last time I was there, they used to have the Howard Johnson's clam roll bun where they
Yeah.
bread on the side, but they didn't have it last time. They could have been out. I haven't been back, but the little mart on 100 between Pulaski and Perrysburg, they have good hot dogs.
Little River Grill also. I just had one of
Where's
their hot
that?
dogs for the first time. They're right before you get on exit 109 in Radford.
Okay,
And
I'll check that out.
but it's funny if you ask like I want a hot dog all the way. Like, well, that comes with mustard. I was like, every hot dog should come with
Yeah.
mustard.
Okay.
Yeah, some people don't
Well,
want
let's
it. Well,
go-
then they're not allowed to have hot dogs.
Let's talk about what nobody wants to talk about. If you eat ketchup on your hot dog, don't talk to me. That's just wrong.
I do enjoy ketchup on my hot dog,
No, that's
but
wrong.
that's not a requisite.
Some people, that's all they put on their hot dog.
No, mustard is.
I think I have
If you only have one topping, it's got to be mustard.
I think I have a child that does that. But
It's got to
we're
be
not.
mustard.
They're dead to me.
Ketchup's kind of if you're
Mustard, lots of mustard.
feeling like you want some condiments.
I like
mustard.
relish.
Have you had
sometimes.
horseradish Dijon on a hot dog?
Not that I can remember.
Highly recommend it.
Okay.
It's really good. I mean, at that point, you want to kind of pay for the nicer dogs. Like you want to get Nathan's hot dogs and cook them up right.
I should mention that I might not have said this. When I went to Brooklyn, I now own the bridge. They sold me the bridge. I was right there. The guy was like, "Hey, you want to buy the Brooklyn?" Really? Yeah. But for some reason, I can't collect the toll. Something about the New York law. But I'm still owner. So I bought it. Paid $4,000.
That's was the guy just sitting there?
Yeah, he had a little table.
He had a table. Okay.
Okay, didn't buy the Brooklyn
Did you
Bridge,
throw
but I
the
could
money
have.
in a hat?
I could have bought it. I did walk across it, and that was pretty fat then. It was hard.
Speaking of bridges and ways to cross bodies of water, I learned this recently. Did you know the London Bridge, the original
in
one, the
Arizona.
one that's falling? Yeah.
I knew that.
Someone's like, yeah, we should. I think it started as like we're gonna have this tourist attraction, like,
Yeah, I don't know what's going
and
on
the
with
bridge was the first thing they got. I don't know what they're doing with it either. It seems like one of those like this is gonna fail. Why the hell would you do
it. Well,
this?
they said we're going to replace the London Bridge, and this guy is a rich guy. He's a rich guy. He said, "I'll take your bridge. I'll just buy your bridge." And they numbered all the blocks, disassembled it, shipped it to America, drove it in tractor trailer trucks across the country, and built it again in Arizona.
Just
I
imagine.
think it's just all. He never intended anything else. It's just the bridge.
It's an affront on God.
I have not been there, but I want to go. Now I'm going to go.
I have so much money I can do this, so I'm going to. Damn it!
That's right. That's like, I've been known to do that sort of thing. Not that much, not big a thing, but yeah. Sometimes you just have to do things.
We got cotton candy machine money.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, I do like these beers. We need to talk about those and stop talking about bridges.
Well, this one's probably 5%. I didn't look.
Pilsner for sure.
Yeah. But it's crisp, fresh, and fun. It's so right on here.
This is tangy, unexpected, and quirky.
See, somebody writing their stuff. 5% even. I give it, I'm going to give it a 5. I think this is a good beer.
Yeah, I mean, 5.8% for a sour is pretty good. I enjoy a good sour. This is a good sour. I'm going to be right there with you. He's Huck's Beer Buzz on Untapped. I'm Big Nate Danger, but I have to disagree with they call it tangy, unexpected, and quirky. I was expecting a beer today, so
Yeah, you were expecting to be tangy because it's a sour.
can't really say that it was unexpected, but it's absolutely delicious. So that's a 5.
Fives. There you go. This could be a good show. Because I think I saved the best for last.
We talked about this off the air, so well, maybe some Hendrix.
Yeah, might as well.
And then more Brooklyn Brewery for Black History Month.
There you go.
Brewsday Tuesday on 105.3 The Bear.
Oh, that's a good one.